What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy with Trade Decoded. It is April 16, 2025. We're going to make this one quick. Why? Because I got to go pick up my son from school. Well, he's actually at Dungeons and Dragons camp. But nonetheless, that's why I'm going to make this quick. So, first and foremost, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you would, please. I'd appreciate it. Also, consider buying my book. There's a lot of good information in there. Several options from hardcover all the way down to an ebook. Ebook being the least expensive one. Check it out. Now, if you want to see what a good day looked like until it turned not into a good day, which was shortly after I got off the microphone, unless you were playing Jerome Powell Speaking, which tanked the market, I'm going to show you great setups, and I'm also going to show you that we talk about these things before they become trades. You just got to wait for them to happen, and then you got to have the confidence to take the trade. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the chart and talk about it quickly. As always, we have a call put scenario, guys. If we get below 449.29, we were looking for that move to hopefully move down to the first orange line. We didn't get there, and the thing was, we moved below that line before the open. So I told everybody, I said, guys, I can't play the put scenario now unless we get a pullback. Well, when we got our pullback to the trend line, what was going on? Well, Qs was at resistance, SPY was at resistance, but what was ADD doing? ADD was green. We don't buy pullbacks when ADD is going in the wrong direction. Okay, if ADD was printing red at that point, I would have taken puts there, and I would have hoped that that would have meant we were going to go down from there. However, it didn't. So we crossed our call line. We wanted to get clear of resistance, hoping it would get up to the next resistance. It actually did that pretty aggressively, pretty quickly. And the reason I stayed in this trade was because ADD was printing big green candles. I was walking people through this entire trade. As we moved up to this line, I did tell people we've made it to our second target high, or it's actually our first in this case. The first target was resistance right here. Second one was the orange line, actually just above. We wanted to get all the way up to here. We got all those things. But the reason I stayed in this trade was the fact that ADD was aggressively printing green. Okay, now I got to admit, a lot of people had a bias for puts this morning because of that sell-off we had leading into the open. I was prepared for puts this morning, but because we opened below the support we needed to get below in order to take puts, they were off the table. So we had to wait for the right setup. We never got it. We never got it. What we did get, though, that takes puts off the table, and this is important because the next 2 or 3 trades that we're going to talk about all have to do with this exact same strategy, exact same rule. If we close on the other side of the downtrend line, puts come off the table. We should be looking for calls. What is the reason we're going to take calls? Well, we close on the other side of the downtrend line. We want to get above resistance. All of those happen. We're hoping to make it to the next resistance as long as there's room to do it. ADD was printing green. No reason not to attempt that trade. It worked out. It paid money for me, which I got out all the way up here. Why up there? Because as we cross these lines, moving up, I tell people, make every line we cross and close above your new stop loss. Now, the reason I got out here was 2 reasons. Number 1, SPY and Qs were at resistance. And number 2, and most importantly, was I started to see ADD for the first time print red or having a wick on the top of it. So this wasn't a massive winning trade as far as percentages go, but it was 16.7%. I'll take that any day of the week. Nice to see contracts back down to semi-normal. They're still like 2 times as expensive as normal, but whatever. This is better than what it's been. Nonetheless, great trade. We did pull back, put in a higher low. Now, because of those higher lows, we would expect, we would expect Qs or SPY to break through resistance. The problem is, doesn't always work. So if you were holding on to calls or you bought calls on the pullback, you have to first respect that resistance does exist there. You hope we get through it. And if we don't, the stop loss becomes a candle close back below the trend line. Very simple. Just follow the rules. Now, on this trade right here, we were talking about it over here. Guys, we're not looking for puts. We're not looking for puts until what? Until we close below the trend line and then we take out support. Well, we took out support, and I told everybody this because of this support right here. we're more likely to break that trend line and support on the same candle. So I wasn't looking to get in right there, but the next support down was right here. Okay, now take a look at ADD around this time. We started to print red. So the entry was, guys, if we get through that trend line and through this support here, we're looking for it to come all the way down to right here. That right there happened in basically 3 minutes. ADD printed red the whole time. Great trade. That was my second trade of the day. That one there paid 19.5%. And that was it for me. Pull back to resistance. Okay, resistance. This was support as resistance. On SPY as well, old support, resistance. And put in a lower high. Lower highs mean we're more likely to break support, not hold it. And if we do break that support, well, we're hoping to get all the way down to the orange line. You can see I had an alert there. Excellent, excellent trade. Okay, ADD, again, continued to print red until it didn't. SPY Qs hit support at the same time. Time to get out of the trade. When do we switch back over to calls? Well, same rules, guys. Wait for a close above the trend line. Make sure we take out resistance. If we do, we're aiming for the next resistance up, which is exactly where we went. When do we want to take puts? And this is where I ask our members constantly, guys, what should we be looking for if we want to take puts? See the time on these? 10:10. We were talking about this trade at 10:10. Okay, right here. We were at resistance and ADD was struggling to move higher. We said, don't get into puts yet, although it would have been a great time to consider it, but wait for the rules. Wait until we take out the trend line and close below support. Now, the support on this candle was 449.06. If we get that, we're looking for it to run down to the next support, which was right here. I had this, we had picked this support right here as the reason to get out. But again, it was SPY support that got us out because that was a strong support. We couldn't get through that line several times today until later in the day. But support here this morning on SPY and on Qs. Let's respect the support again. And we took profits, okay? You did get a little bit more. It did actually touch the line shortly thereafter. But I want to show you guys, we're setting up for these trades. This one here, we were talking about like 4 minutes before it happened. 4 minutes. You can't be upset if you don't take it. If you don't trust it, listen, watch, and apply the knowledge that I'm giving you to mental trades. Keep track of how often it works and how often it doesn't. If that number doesn't allow you to be confident to take in the trade, then don't take it ever, okay? I'm telling you, statistically speaking, these setups work way more than they don't. All right. Higher lows, bad for puts. Lower highs, bad for calls. All the rules that we follow. Okay. Nonetheless, that was the third. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4 called out trade opportunities. And I told everybody I was getting into this trade, by the way, before I got into it. And then we move up. Okay, so we move up. Let me get this thing out of the way so you guys can see. I'm trying to be quick because I got to go pick up my kid. We pull down, higher low, lower high. This is a wedge, and we talk about wedges. If we're going to break the wedge down, we're going to run down to the next support. Well, the wedge broke down. It went down to the next support. That was a trade. Then we tightened up quite a bit. Now, this is not a trade I was looking for, but the same rules apply, guys. If we break the wedge up and we clear resistances, look left to find where your next resistance is. Now, in this case, our last resistance that we had on the day was this second orange line right here. So if you wanted to play from these resistances to the first orange line, and because we closed above that resistance, we're looking for the second one, that's your trade opportunity, okay? But now at this time, ADD is going up aggressively. Tell everybody that it looks like there's more room to the upside on this. Where are we going? I don't know where it stops, and neither do you. Just the thing is, you got to be able to spot the trades before they're trades so you even have a chance to take part of something like this. This is what you're trying to learn, not how to catch the entirety of every single move. Okay? Fewer trades is better. And when I tell you that, I'm going to show you a stat at the end of this video that proves it. Just from one guy, but I know for a fact that what I tell you guys is accurate. Now here's the trade of the day right here. This vertical white line indicates 12 o'clock. We put that there because I was letting people know that I wanted Steven to bring this trade down to this support right here before 12 o'clock. Now, Steven, I'm not going to get into who Steven is. Just know that we believe in Steve, okay? Lower high on both charts. Told everybody, guys, if we get through this support here, our next support's way down there. We watched that thing. Many people in this trade went straight down to support. By now, you're so much in profit that you can wait and see if it continues to go. I told everybody as long as ADD is still printing red, there's no harm in trying to hold and hope that we get a little bit more. Move your stops down as we get to the bottom. Had an alert down here on this line as well. The alert beeped. 5 minutes later, I was off the microphone, and that was it, guys. And then Jerome Powell came on and just ruined the market. So I told you guys that I wanted to show you a stat, and Tradevate, by the way, fantastic software. I have not used it. I might start to, though, because I really like what it shows you based on somebody who sent me some information today. So I want to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about, okay? So you take a look at this graphic here and this graphic here. It's telling this gentleman that the days you trade more, you tend to lose. And when you don't walk away with profit, you end up over trading it and losing what you once had. Guys, this is stuff that I teach you and tell you constantly. You're seeing it in real time with this gentleman's information from Tradevate. I'm telling you, trade less, follow rules, and you will start to make the progress you're hoping for. All right. So with that said, we're going to wrap it up. Hope you found some useful information in this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, buy my book. It's a great read. I'm promising you it is. It's got great reviews. It's easy to follow. The rules are all in there. I have done live charting sessions for the book buyers, so you can watch everything in real time as far as exactly how to cover or chart what you just read about in that particular chapter. All right. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you had a fantastic day in the markets today. Till tomorrow, I love you guys. See ya.